ಎತ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ಯಾ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಟಿ ಶರ್ಟ್
ನಾನು ಕಮಿಟಿ ಗ್ರೂಪ್
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Muthu Kumar. I'll be hosting the show today. So, may I request all of you to kindly mute your phones? Am I audible? Shivu, can you mute the other folks? Shivu, can you mute other folks? Yeah. All right. May I request all of you to probably sit in a place where you're not disturbed so that we go with the flow, and request you to ask the questions at the end of the session. All right. So today, let us quickly understand what is the agenda for today. We will have the welcome and introduction. Then you will get to know about the journey so far in Disciples India Group and Disciples India Learning Forum. Then you will have the guest speakers introduction. Then we will continue with the session. What is the vision of Disciples India Learning Forum? It is to excel as a focused and fulfilling learning destination for a new age growth aspirants. And the mission is that we will be a practice-based professional training and consulting platform to novel and relevant process of transformation to individuals and organizations. And coming to the core values, honesty, hard work, healthy, honor, happiness is what we wish for. And Disciples India Learning Forum group is happy to present a platform purely for the joy of learning. And what is its objectives? Its objective is to provide a platform to share and exchange ideas and experiences, to create and develop personal and professional network of learners, to enhance effective communication and leadership skills, to foster learning and contribute for a personal, professional, and organizational development, to update with the life management skills and contribute as an effective member to the society. So this has been the objectives of the Disciples India Learning Forum. So we will play a small video on what is Disciples India Learning Forum so that you get a fair idea of what is it. So that's a quick video of who we are and what we did so far. So our learning forums, okay. Disciples India Learning Forum organizing committee members are Dr. A.M. Suresh, who's the advisor, Dr. Sandhya, the president, I myself there, and Mr. Parthos, who's the secretary, and Dr. Satish, joint secretary, Mr. Shiv Prasad, the treasurer, and Mr. Akhilesh, executive member. Just give us a moment. There is a technical glitch. Not moving. Okay, so we started in 2018, and we continued the sessions in 2019 and 20 and 21, and so far we did about 85 sessions. Today is the 86th session. So for this year, we started with Dr. Anni Arnav. The topic was on exploring psychological contract in the current scenario. Then we started, the 82nd session was on Healthy States, Progressive India, Ranking of States and Union Territories by Dr. Ratan Chand. Then our 83rd session was on click-wrap contracts by Dr. Rama Iyer. And then we had a topic on investment avenues and tax planning by Professor Satyanarayana. And the last session, that is 85th session, was on getting in touch with your voice. The guest speaker was Rashmi Shetty. And today, the topic for today is waste management, an overview. The guest speaker for today is Shaila Gurudutt, and we are doing this in association with NM KRV College for Women. So may I request Ms. Rupashri BR to introduce the chief guest, please, the speaker for the day, please.
Good evening to one and all present here. Am I audible?
Yeah.
It's my honor to introduce our today's speaker to all of you here. Shaila ma'am is the founder and director of Rashi E-Waste Solutions Private Limited and Edible Pro Gajamukha Foods Private Limited. Ma'am have successfully established 2 environment eco-friendly industries to contribute to better our planet for generations to come. Ma'am has also accomplished senior executive with proven leadership record in general management, professional services, and operations. Ma'am is also experienced in consulting, practice development, business solutions development, people management, budgeting and forecasting, business unit operations, solution sales, branding, alliance development, strategic management, and also employee development. Ma'am has double masters with an MBA in information science from United Kingdom, certified PMP and blue and green belt in 6 Sigma quality certification, IBM certified e-com professional with 25 plus years of experience with extensive wide range of experience in manufacturing development and SAP implementation, strategic planning, process re-engineering, internal auditing, knowledge management, change management, project management, and delivery activities. Ma'am has had a varied experiences and also worked with the Big Blue, IBM, and others. It's my pleasure to introduce ma'am to everyone. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
You, yes, over to you, Ms. Shaila Gurudutt.
Yeah, thank you so much, everyone. Good evening, everybody. First of all, I would like to thank Dr. Sandhya and Shiva to have given me this opportunity to see all of you today. Basically, I know Shiva since almost 4-5 years by now, but only now I think the day has come when I could, be part of what good work they have been doing. So thank you, Shiva. Thanks so much for that. So today I thought, let me give an overview of the waste management that all of us can have a common thought on. But unfortunately, I do not know the forum, like the target audience I know are students as well as professors and some learned people across. But however, today's session, I'm basically addressing students and some entrepreneurial, women who would want to stand on their own legs. So is that right, Shiva? Sorry, I can't hear you.
Yeah, proceed. You can proceed, Ms. Shaila.
Yeah. So see, there are various kinds of waste in this world, if you really see, and part of usage is waste is an integral part of our usage. Like whatever we use, the end of the day, something remains as a waste, if you really see. So basically, this particular knowledge session, I'm addressing it only to the students as well as to people who are aspiring to be, entrepreneurial journey, who would want to take that as a journey, is what I'm looking at. And see, so waste management is an integral part of usage, as I said. Whatever we are using, something remains as a waste, if you really see. Like, for example, there are various kinds of waste, as I told you already. For example, a waste which can be digested and made or turned into a manure, that is called as organic waste. The kitchen waste or the paper waste, whatever you use and throw, all that can be digested, and over a period of time that can be turned into a manure, or it can also sometimes be fed as a fodder to the animals as well. Like, for example, your vegetable peeling or your vegetable itself, all that. And even in the technology field, as the technology progresses, supposing if you're using a mobile, all of us buy a new mobile once the new version of the mobile gets released, right? So that old one becomes a redundant piece of technology or a piece of e-waste, which again is a waste. Since it's an electronic waste, it becomes an e-waste. So that also has to be seeing the end of cycle process in some way, which normally none of us think of. What do? Once we buy a new mobile, we just throw the old mobile for a price with Kabadiwala or some such thing, where he would take whatever is required for him, which fetches him a lot of money, and throws away the rest to the environment. What happens to the environment after you throw certain hazardous waste into the environment? We never think of. What happens is certain e-waste generates certain poison into the earth crust. Like, for example, e-waste could also be having mercury in it, which is a hazardous waste which gets into the earth crust and also enters into the water stream. So that could be one of the reasons why so much of cancer has been increasing these days across the globe, if you really see. So that also is a waste which needs management. One day you might see e-waste as a heaps and heaps of waste fallen on the road, just like how you see BBMP waste. Am I right in my thought? Hello? Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So those are all the kind of waste what gets generated over a period, and addressing each one of each type of a waste to the last cycle of its life cycle is very, very important. So in this regard, the government is also doing a lot of work as far as the waste segregation is concerned. If you really see the normal waste, what we produce, domestic waste, what we produce every day, has been segregated into dry waste, wet waste, as well as hazardous waste. Non-recyclable waste, it is called. So wet waste is nothing but your organic waste, which becomes a manure. Dry waste, in that some things have to be assorted or segregated to put back into the cycle. Like for example, plastic, first time plastics have been banned, but the second time or the recyclable plastic can be reused, recycled and reused. So that kind of segregation has to be done for all dry waste. And the third one is the hazardous waste, which has to go into your medical waste or your poisonous kind of a hazardous waste, has to be going into a process called incineration. What happens in incineration is they burn the waste at a very high temperature of about 2000 or probably more degrees centigrade, where the waste gets completely turned into ashes. And that is the end of cycle for that particular medical waste or any other hazardous waste. So such type of awareness is being given to all the domestic people. And now these days, people come and collect each kind of waste alag say, like ಒಬ್ರು ಬಂದು ವೆಟ್ ವೇಸ್ಟ್ ತಗೊಂಡ್ ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ, ಒಬ್ರು ಬಂದು ಡ್ರೈ ವೇಸ್ಟ್ ತಗೊಂಡ್ ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ, ಇನ್ನೊಬ್ರು ಬಂದು ನಾನ್ recyclable waste ತಗೊಂಡ್ ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ. Am I right? So this is the kind of the observe. If you observe the environment, you can definitely feel all this happening around you. But we don't think. What we do is, supposing if I eat a kurkure packet, I just eat it, I throw it into the environment. I don't even think twice. What happens to this kurkure packet after I throw? Actually, kurkure packet has 3 layers in it, which is non-recyclable. Plastic ಗೆ 400 ವರ್ಷ ಆದ್ರೂ ಕೂಡ ಅದು ಬಯೋಡಿಗ್ರೇಡ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ಆ ತರ ಕ್ವಾಲಿಟಿ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಇಲ್ಲ. It cannot bifurcate into particles and degrade itself into smaller particles and degrade over a period. That cannot happen. So that is the reason all the plastic material remains as a waste forever in this planet. You must have seen so many plastic covers and plastic waste near the ocean. All the animals which are present in the ocean could be eating or getting choked because of plastics and dying. So that is a kind of plastic effect which has on the planet. So I'm a very friendly, environmental friendly person who would wanted to contribute to the environment in some small little bits. So that is the reason I started 2 environment friendly industries, which is one is e-waste recycling industry. Another one is ನೀವು ಊಟ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರಲ್ಲ, ತಟ್ಟೆ, ಬೌಲು, ಸ್ಪೂನು ಎಲ್ಲದ್ರಿಂದ ತಿಂದು ಅದನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ತಿನ್ಬಿಡೋದು. ಅದು that is made out of millet grains, pulses and spices, which is highly nutritious as well, and nothing remains as a waste which you can recycle. And it also comes in the circular economy. What is circular economy? Circular economy is nothing but the input, the output of a process becomes the input of the next process. So in this, if you really see, supposing if I give you a bowl of soup, you drink the soup in a bowl with a spoon, you finish the soup, and then the bowl as well as the spoon would have got rightly ripened for you to consume. So what do? You eat it up. You finish eating the spoon, you finish eating the bowl. Nothing remains as a waste. Supposing if you do not want to eat, throw it into the environment. It becomes a manure over a period, like within 3 weeks within 40 minutes it gets dissolved completely. You can feed it as a fodder to the animals, which is made out of millets, so it is highly nutritious and yields a lot of milk also, if you give it to the cows or any other domestic animals. Or it becomes manure in about 3 weeks time. So that also, see, the process, the output of the process is an input to another process, right? Nothing gets wasted. So this kind of circular economy, this kind of the cycle which goes on in some of the businesses is called as circular economy. Nothing gets wasted, basically zero waste. And our Honorable Prime Minister also has been encouraging this kind of concepts across. Not only this, there are various zero waste kind of a concepts across, which he has been encouraging. And he has also been contributing big time into Swachh Bharat, as we know. So this is what is, the trigger I want all of you to have much before you really throw anything on the road. Even for children, we have made some, the teddy bear kind of a spoon or chocolate alphabets, which they can recognize. They can use that to eat and finish their meal and then eat that too. So right from that age, we would want to inculcate that into them, saying that nothing should be thrown unattended on the road. So how many of us think about all these things? Why I would like to, address the younger generation or a school or probably a university student is, he or she would go back home and educate 5 more people in the house. That is how this revolution can be achieved. This is nothing but a revolution. It cannot happen tomorrow that everything is proper and recycled, nothing remains as a waste in the planet. No, that cannot happen. This is a revolution which is going to take a lot of time, a lot of awareness being built into the mankind. So I would urge all the youngsters who are listening to me to go back home and then shoot out some of these questions to yourself much before you really throw anything on the road. One more kind of waste is the municipal waste or the solid waste. There is a set process to recycle the solid waste itself, which government has been enforcing it in all of the colonies and many of the areas as well, which is to a large extent taken care at this point in time. ಮುಂಚೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ನಿಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರುವಂಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಡೆ there was no drainage system at all. It was only a pit kind of a arrangement for all your municipal waste. But now government has made sure that they have a complete set modeled parameters for setting up a drainage system. So this is nothing but a solid waste management, where many of the plants have been, huge plants are set up to recycle that. And incinerators, as I said earlier, many of the industries have this kind of a facility where they can burn all your incineration waste or the non-recyclable waste at a high temperature. Abroad alella ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, supposing if you buy a laptop, they charge you $20 upfront along with your cost price of the laptop. That is the amount which goes to the recycler for recycling this particular laptop at the end of cycle of that particular laptop. ಇವಾಗೆಲ್ಲ ಟೆಕ್ನಾಲಜಿ ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ 3 ವರ್ಷದಿಂದ 5 ವರ್ಷ ತನಕ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ ಮತ್ತೆ it becomes a e-waste, which does not have a life of its own for any more usage. Anta what corporates do is they scrap it and give it off to a recycler at a price, mind you, at a price for recycling. They take a price and give it to you. But abroad alella they give you the amount for recycling. That is the difference. So that kind of a waste awareness illanu namma pollution control board avaru, they have been enforcing it big time in each organization, each corporate, or even each school and domestic areas as well, if you really see. So that is another kind of waste. Medical waste, all of you would have seen, like supposing hospitalally, various operations agatte, various parts of the body could be removed, or it could be even your syringes, ಏನೇನ್ ತರ bacteria, virus ಎಲ್ಲ ಇರೋ ತರ cotton or bandage, or it could be any kind of a waste which comes out of a hospital, that becomes a medical waste which cannot be recycled nor to be touched by anyone. That straight away goes to medical waste incinerable kind of a facility where the whole thing is burnt. So you being some, I think the college students are all women, so you also know some of the usage of your own things which are non-recyclable, but just take care to see that that particular waste is wrapped in a paper or some such thing which goes directly for incineration, that cannot be thrown into the environment unattended. Now these days I see a lot of these masks and certain medical usage kits, like the what is that COVID kit or whatever, that keeps flying on the road. Unfortunately, the awareness what government has been giving, people have not been able to know or identify. That is the issue. If at all you put that mask or the kit what you use in a proper dustbin where they recycle it or they burn it, that would be really helping this particular pandemic not to spread anymore, right? So that kind of a awareness campaign can be done, and I know this organization has been kind enough to do everything online, so that many people are being benefited, and also they have been giving continuous education on some of these areas wherever they could manage to find a problem. Every problem statement is an opportunity for us to do something. Do you agree with me?
Yes, we do. Yes, we do agree, Ms. Shaila. Ms. Shaila, can you hear us? Can you hear us?
Am I audible?
Yes. You are very clear. Yeah.
Okay. So these are some of those types of waste which you can think of. One day one madi. I urge everyone to do this, please. ಯಾವುದೇ ವಸ್ತುವನ್ನ ನೀವು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ ಮತ್ತೆ ಕೊಂಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳುವಾಗ ಎಸ್ಪೆಷಲಿ ಕೊಂಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಕ್ ಮುಂಚೆ ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡಿ ಇದ್ರದ್ದು ಎಂಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಸೈಕಲ್ ಏನು ಅಂತ. Only then you buy the gadget, or only then you buy the accessory, or only then you buy the eatable, whatever. Okay, so this is the kind of the message what I would like to spread, and especially people who would want to do something, or who would want to contribute to the environment, or who would want to contribute to the society. You can start off businesses where you can commercialize, as well as some bit of yourself you can give back to the society as well. Now these two I'm just giving you an example. The industries what I have started is in some way giving back to the society. If you really see, we do refurbish laptops and give to students who may not be able to afford a very big value for a laptop. We do refurbish and give it to students as well. We give it to NGOs. We give it to very many people where it is very much required that they use the laptop. So likewise, even edible cutlery, we normally give it to as a part of our CSR for all the corporates. They go and implement that in the rural areas where malnutrition has become a very big problem today. Supposing if you give our edible spoon to a set of children, over a period, they come out of malnutrition. This is proved. Okay, this can also be proved by a evidential report from a lab as well. Over a period, they have to be managed for a period. So such kind of giving back to society is what I would urge all of you to think about, and then only select the area in which you want to start a business. Sit alone and introspect yourself and know your strength. And also please analyze your passion is what I would say. Passion is the one which will drive you in times of exigencies. Passion illa andre rough drives the rough antaralla atara, you will not have motivation to continue, because entrepreneurial journey is a very tough journey. It will not be a seamless kind of a journey for about 18 months minimum to start with. So our time alli nimge commitment and that strong ability illde idre bitbidtivi. We just leave it saying I can't manage, so let me not do anta. ಅದು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು.
399ಕ್ಕೆ ನಿಮಗೋಸ್ಕರ ತಗೊಂಡು ಬಂದಿದ್ದೀವಿ ಮೆನ್ಸ್ ಗೋಲ್ಡ್ ವಾಚ್ ಡೇ.
May I request other folks to kindly mute yourself? Thank you.
So I would urge all of you are the citizens of tomorrow, where you need to draw a career path for yourself. Of course, money is very important in life, but apart from money, if you can also do some bit to the society, please do. Please join hands with our people who have been doing such good jobs, wonderful jobs, and then give back to society in some small little way. So these are all the kinds of waste what I would want you to think about. And in all, the whole story of waste management, if you really see data nodi bekare Google aunty olage hagbittu, there are loads and crores of money that we are spending on waste management. If all of us take care of our own waste, like what we produce is what I'm talking about. Now, utpanna maduvantaha waste na matra monitor madidre, do we need to spend that kind of an amount? The government needs to spend that kind of an amount on us? I don't think so. Just Google and see how much of money we are spending in each state for waste management. It's a lot of money. So think about it. ಒಂದೇ ಒಂದು ಚಿಕ್ಕ ಥಾಟ್ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಮನ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ, ಏನಂದ್ರೆ ನೀವ್ ಏನ್ ಕೈಯಲ್ಲಿ ಹಿಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿರ್ತೀರಾ ಅದು ಯೂಸ್ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಅಥವಾ ತಿಂದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಗಮನ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಸಾಕು. That will take care of the entire process. And even in your own homes, please urge all your family members to segregate the waste, which will help BBMP a big time and saves a lot of effort in segregation. So ee tara iruvaga, if you would want to know anything in specific, nange interactive kind of a session is more I like that more than me speaking alone, because I want to know whether you are listening to it or you are wanting to ask me something. So in case if you have some questions to ask or something you want to know, kindly ask me. I would leave the forum for question and answer session for a longer bit, which Shiva had told me 15 minutes, but I am giving it to you so that I can answer specific things what you would want to know from me, please.
Hello.
Yeah.
May I,
Yes.
ma'am?
Yes, please.
Yes, ma'am. I'm Baby Kamle from Maharashtra, and I'm doing PhD in solid waste management. I have just one question.
1 minute. May I request all to kindly mute yourself, please? Let's not disturb Miss. Thank you. Yes, yes, baby Kamla, you can go ahead.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I just want to know that for e-waste collection, the authorized certification is mandatory. Then what is the exact process to collect the waste if I want to make from on a volunteer basis or in a business kinds of view? What we can follow the procedure to acquire e-waste certificate to collect waste?
Yes. So there is a authority in India which is called as Pollution Control Board. You need to have certain credentials, like for example, the infrastructure, where you are starting this has to be explained to them. And there is a whole lot of credentials that you need to have much before you apply this kind of a license. So once you apply, they would come for inspection to wherever you are starting this.
Okay.
And once they are convinced of the safety aspect of after recycling, then they would issue this kind of a license.
Okay, ma'am. And what is the collection? Is there any collection? It means if I just want to collect the e-waste from one city and send to recycling center, then which certificate should we need it?
Yes, so this is called as a collection center certificate. Now they have stopped issuing this kind of a certificate for some time because there were too many players and they were not active at all. So this activity is called as collection center certificate, where you will only collect it, store it in your premises and pass on to a recycler, like one of us. So that kind of a arrangement can be drawn once you have a store.
Your voice is not audible, ma'am. Hello.
Miss Shaila, we lost you. We are not able to hear you. Miss Shaila, can you hear us? We lost you. We are unable to hear you. Okay, I think there is some technical glitch with Miss Shaila. Maybe they can log in, log out again, or log out and log in again.
Okay.
We were able to hear you, Miss Shaila.
Okay.
Now. Yes, you can proceed now, Miss Shaila.
Yeah. Anybody else have any questions? You can please ask me.
Ma'am, we can't hear you from the certification for collection. Could you please repeat it?
Yeah, see, there will be a approval for collection center alone, where you will not have any machinery nor have a plant for recycling. What you would do is collect it from all the corporates, bring it to your premises and store it in a fashion which the Pollution Control Board has some guideline for you to follow. So you just bring it, store it in accordance to PCB guideline, hand it off to a contract जिससे साइन किया हो, उसको हैंड ओवर करके एक इन टर्न सर्टिफिकेट लेना है आपको, that person has recycled it to the last bit. So this process goes on till the end of cycle for that particular lot of e-waste. That is called as collection center certificate or collection center license.
Okay, ma'am. Means we can't take from the PC pollution control board. Rather, we taken from it from a recycle industry or center.
No. See, there are two things, Bahami, is it? So here you are collecting the e-waste from domestic as well as from the corporates. Whoever is a producer becomes your input person. But peace.
Ms. Shaila, we lost you again. We are unable to hear you. I think some internet fluctuations or some technical glitch. Ms. Shaila, I think we lost you. We are unable to hear you anything.
I can't hear you.
Yes, we are able to hear you now, Ms. Shaila. We lost you in
So
between.
did it answer you?
Not yet, ma'am.
Huh?
Again, I lost. Again, we lost.
In between, we lost you, Ms. Shaila. We couldn't hear you.
Oh,
anything.
okay. See, what I was trying to explain the process. PCB Pollution Control Board is the Government of India authority who would issue the license alone. They do not give you e-waste here. You have to collect it from either a domestic source or from the corporates, where you would be allowed to collect only after you pick up the license from Pollution Control Board.
Yes, ma'am. And what is that procedure to take this certification? Is any requirements or where we can take this certificate?
So I have already told you, it is the Pollution Control Board. So Maharashtra also has a Pollution Control Board. If you Google it, you will know
Yes,
the
ma'am.
procedure.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So you need to pick up the license from there. They also have a guideline for your infrastructure much before you apply. Number of things are the line items that you need to have much before you apply. So go there, read about it, and accordingly prepare the file and take the license.
Okay, ma'am. Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
So next question, please.
Ma'am, what is the advantages of waste management in daily life?
Now waste manage, you're from Karnataka?
Yes, ma'am.
Kannada baruttalla?
Yes,
Now
ma'am.
waste management ಮಾಡದೇ ಇದ್ರೆ there won't be place to live on this earth, dear. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮೊಮ್ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಮರಿ ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆಲ್ಲ ಜಾಗ ಬೇಕಲ್ವಾ? ಎಲ್ಲ ಇಡೀ ಪ್ಲಾನೆಟ್ ಬರೀ ವೇಸ್ಟ್ ಹಾಕೊಂಡಿದ್ರೆ ಎಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಜೀವಿಸೋದು? ಎಲ್ಲಿಂದ where do you live? Where do you construct your house? Where do you live? Waste management is an integral part of your usage, daily usage, right? If you don't do waste management, one day this earth will be full of waste. ಬದುಕಕ್ಕೆ ಜಾಗ ಎಲ್ಲಿರುತ್ತಮ್ಮ? Hello?
How we can create this awareness among kids, ma'am, now in recent generation?
Yes. So this is an important question where youngsters pass on the message very beautifully. If you teach a nursery child not to throw anything on the road, she would never do that. She would rather go home and teach all her parents, siblings, everybody how to manage waste. Wrapper ಏನಾರು chocolate paper ತೆಗೆದ್ರೆ, she would go and put it in the dustbin. So even while putting the dustbin, you can show her where you should be putting it. Like, is it a dry waste or a wet waste? All that awareness you could see. Charity begins at home. Whoever has asked me this question. So ಅವರವರ ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ only then the differential or the difference can be known in a mass. ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಒಂದು ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್ ಇಟ್ಟು, ಈಗ ನಾನು ಐ ಅಟೆಂಡ್ ಸೋ ಮೆನಿ ಫೋರಮ್ಸ್, ನೀತಿ ಆಯೋಗ್, MSME coachings, all that I do. But how much can I do? It is only a forum. Depending on the number of attendees, so many people would be benefited. But if this message has to spread in villages everywhere, either which Man Ki Baat ali our honorable Prime Minister is doing that. Other than that, all the authorities and certain bodies which are entitled to control this particular waste should be making efforts to spread this message everywhere. ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇದು ಆಗೋದೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. And ಈಗ like for example, Shiva's NGO, they have been doing a wonderful job of spreading the message. ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಈ ತರ ಒಂದು ಫೋರಂ ಮಾಡಿ ಈ ತರ ಮೆಸೇಜ್ ನ ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋದೇನಮ್ಮ, ಇಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಟೈಮ್ ಇನ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ದೇ ಟೇಕ್ ಸೋ ಮಚ್ ಆಫ್ initiative to spread so many good things around. ಆ ತರ all of us should be thinking, and wherever possible start addressing the mass. Only then the difference can be known. ಎಲ್ಲಾರು ಕೈಗೂಡಿಸಿದ್ರೇನೆ ಆಗುವಂತ ಕೆಲಸ ಇದು. ಒಂದಿನ 2 ದಿನದಲ್ಲಿ
We lost you again, Ms. Shaila. I think there is a lot of technical glitch or maybe the internet issues. We lost you again. Can you hear us, Ms. Shaila? Ms. Shaila, we lost you again. Okay. Maybe, yeah, she is back. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, Ms. Shaila.
So did I answer your question, dear? Whoever asked me the question, I don't know her name.
I think Bhamini asked.
Okay. Bhamini?
She says yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So any...
Yes, I do have a question.
Yeah, please tell me.
With all plastic packaging, whatever is happening now, with the biodegradables substitute, will that solve the problem of all these rubbish things that is happening?
See, is it Shiva?
Muthu Kumar, the host.
So Muthu, what is happening is this bioplastic or biodegradable covers are coming up. Which also, see, ಏನಿದೆ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕೂಡ ಅದರಲ್ಲೂ ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಬಾಯ್ಲಿಂಗ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಡಿಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಆಗೋ ಅಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಪ್ಲಾಸ್ಟಿಕ್ ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಇದೆ, PVA ಅಂತೀವಿ ಅದನ್ನ. ಇಟ್ಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ಲಿ ವಾಯ್ಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಪ್ಲಾಸ್ಟಿಕ್ ಇಫ್ ಯು ರಿಯಲಿ ಸಿ. ಬಿಸಿನೀರಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಕಿದ್ರೆ ಕರಗೋಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತೀವಲ್ವಾ, ಬಿಸಿನೀರಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಕಿದ್ರೆ ಕರಗತ್ತೆ, ಎಸ್, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಎ ಲೋ ಮೆಲ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್. ಸೊ ಅದು ಕೂಡ ಫುಲ್ ಪ್ಲಾಸ್ಟಿಕ್ ಅಲ್ಲ. And one more paper covers are coming which has a bio coating inside which becomes airtight. ಅದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಇವಾಗ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಇಂಡಸ್ಟ್ರಿಯಲ್ಲಿ. ಇಫ್ ಯು ರಿಯಲಿ ಸಿ, ಪ್ಲಾಸ್ಟಿಕ್ ರೀಸೈಕಲಬಲ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. ಅದು ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಪ್ಲಾಸ್ಟಿಕ್ ಕವರ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಒಂದು ಬಯೋ ಲೈನಿಂಗ್ ಇರುವಂತಹ ಪೇಪರ್ ಕವರ್ ನ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ ನಾನು. ಇಷ್ಟೆಲ್ಲ ಕಷ್ಟಪಟ್ಟು ಮಿಲೆಟ್ ಗ್ರೇನು ಆ ತರ ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಕ್ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಪ್ಲಾಸ್ಟಿಕ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ಯಾಕ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ನಂಗೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಮುಜುಗರ. ಸೊ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಕಮ್ ಔಟ್ ವಿತ್ ದಿಸ್ ಕೈಂಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಅ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ವೇರ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಪ್ಯಾಕಿಂಗ್ ವಿತ್ paper covers which are coated with a bio lining inside. which
Like,
becomes a barrier, which
mhm,
becomes a barrier
mhm.
not to allow the moisture to come in.
Right, right. Maybe something like
But
ಇವಾಗ
of
paper cups ಎಲ್ಲ
course,
ಇರುತ್ತೆ. Yes, yes.
ಅಲ್ಲ ಪೇಪರ್ ಒಳಗೆ ವ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಶಿವ, ಐ ಮೀನ್ ಮುತ್ತು. ಪೇಪರ್
Okay.
ಕಪ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ವ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಕೋಟಿಂಗ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ವಿಚ್ ಇಸ್ ಅಗೇನ್
ಅಲ್ಲ, ಇವಾಗ
ಹಾರ್ಮ್ಫುಲ್ ಟು
ವೆಜಿಟೇಬಲ್ ಎಡಿಬಲ್ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ಇವನ್ ದ ಕೋಟಿಂಗ್, ವ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಕೋಟಿಂಗ್. Now,
ಹಾ.
instead of waxing, my friend runs a paper cup manufacturing company. So
Yeah.
what they do is, now these days they don't, put up a coat of waxing. Instead, they have something called some edible vegetable waste ಇಂದ ಮಾಡಿರೋ waxing coat ತರ ಒಂದ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದಾರೆ. So which is very much
Okay.
to be supportive or being nice to the environment. So maybe
Okay.
such thing, you recommend those?
Yeah, see, vegetable waste andre, we should also take care to see that there is no microbial growth tomorrow. Supposing they put the coating and then leave it for some time, shelf life anta iruttalla, during that shelf life, if there is any organism that is getting produced out of the vegetable waste, then it is safe. It has to be lab safe to use it. So ad ನೋಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು ಅವರು. ಲೈಕ್ ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಬೊಗ್ಯಾಸೆಯಿಂದನೂ ಕೂಡ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಲ್ವಾ, ಸೊ ಬೊಗ್ಯಾಸೆಯಿಂದ ಮಾಡೋದು ಕೂಡ ಇಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಟು ಬಿ ಅಲ್ಟ್ರಾ ವೈಲೆಟ್ ಟ್ರೀಟೆಡ್.
We are not able to hear you. Lot of disturbance ಇದೆ, Ms.
ಹೌದಾ?
Shaila ಅವರೇ.
ಈಗ
Lot of
ಈಗ
disturbance.
ಈಗ?
Little better.
So
Yes,
what I
little
was
better,
saying
yes.
is, whenever we produce few things like ಈ ಅಡಿಕೆ ಪಟ್ಟೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡೋದು ಮತ್ತೆ ಈ ಬೊಗ್ಯಾಸೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡೋದು, ಅದೆಲ್ಲಾನು ಕೂಡ these days they have started treating that with ultraviolet rays to kill the germs much before usage. They do that activity only for export quality. But India jana important ilvapa, our lives are not important, is it? Our lives are also important, right? So adanna madakke it is a little expensive procedure, which they do only for exports.
Right.
They don't do for domestic usage things. Maybe that has to be changed in the society. Like people should be made aware of few things. Papa ಕೊಂಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಕ್ ಮುಂಚೆ ಇದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಅವರು ಲ್ಯಾಬ್ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿಸಿ ಆ ಸರ್ಟಿಫಿಕೇಟ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅದನ್ನ ಅಥಾರಿಟೀಸ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಅಪ್ರೂವಲ್ ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಮಚ್ ಬೆಟರ್ ವೇ ಆಫ್ ಕನ್ವೇಯಿಂಗ್ ದ ಮೆಸೇಜ್ ಅಂತ ನನಗನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ ಮುತ್ತು.
Right. Thank you so much for answering and helping me understand that little more. Thank you. Any other folks has any questions, please feel free to unmute yourself and ask Ms. Shaila directly. Or you can also leave a question in the chat box so that she can probably answer those.
Chat box ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬೇಡ ಮುತ್ತು, it's not.
I will read out. I will read out for you.
Okay.
I'll read it out for you in case anybody. Anybody else, you have any questions, please feel free to unmute yourself and ask Ms. Shaila about this. Meanwhile, I have another question. Probably this came out of, when my mom goes in the morning while putting up a waste there and the auto guys comes and picks it up. So very tedious and monotonous process is what I understand. Is there any ways that you think can be improved in waste segregation system and waste collection system? Maybe why I'm asking this question is when ladies starts talking about it, or when the family members start talking about it, somewhere it is heard and then things can become better, alva. So I thought it is good to ask people like you. So what do you think should we do to improve the waste segregation system at home and waste collection management system? Probably that would be good for BBMP or whoever it is.
Yes. So everything starts at home, Muttu, if you really see. So ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ last unit of our society is home, right? ಸೊ ಮೇಲಿಂದ ಅವರು ಎಷ್ಟು ಡ್ರೈವ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಏನೇನೇ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು ಅಥಾರಿಟೀಸು, ಬಟ್ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಟು ಕಂಪ್ಲೈ ಬೈ ಇಟ್. ಸೊ ವೆನ್ ದಿ ಡೊಮೆಸ್ಟಿಕ್ ಹೌಸ್ ಡಸ್ ದ segregation and puts the waste in accordance to the guideline what is being given to them by BBMP is the first step to success, if you ask me. ವರೆಗೂ ಅದನ್ನ ಫಾಲೋ ಮಾಡಲ್ವೋ ಅಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೂ ಪಾಪ ಅವ್ರಿಗೂ ಕಷ್ಟ BBMP ಮಾಡೋದು. ಯಾವ್ದೋ ಯಾರ್ಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ತಗೊಂಡೋಗಿ ಹಾಕಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಪಾಪ ಮನುಷ್ಯರು ಸೆಗ್ರಿಗೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ. ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಪ್ಯಾಥೆಟಿಕ್ ಟು ಸಿ. ಅವರು ಮನುಷ್ಯರು ಅಲ್ವಾಪ, ಅವರು ಮನುಷ್ಯರೇ ಅಲ್ವಾ ಪಾಪ. ನಾವು ಮಾಡಿರೋ ವೇಸ್ಟ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸೆಗ್ರಿಗೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ದೇ ಕೀಪ್ ಬೈಫರ್ಕೇಟಿಂಗ್ ಇಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಡೂಯಿಂಗ್ ಆಲ್ ದಟ್ ಮ್ಯಾನ್ಯುಯಲಿ, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ನನ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಮೆಷಿನ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಸ್ಟಿಲ್ there to segregate this kind of a mess. Digest ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಮೆಷಿನ್ ಇದೆ. ಸಪೋಸಿಂಗ್ ಅನ್ಸೆಗ್ರಿಗೇಟೆಡ್ ವೇಸ್ಟ್ ನ ಒಬ್ರು ಒನ್ ಮಿಸ್ಟರ್ ರಾವ್ ಅಂತ he has invented this machine. I don't know why it did not see the day of light of the day. ಅವರು ಅನ್ಸೆಗ್ರಿಗೇಟೆಡ್ ವೇಸ್ಟ್ ಇನ್ಕ್ಲೂಡಿಂಗ್ ಹ್ಯೂಮನ್ ಬಾಡಿ ವೇಸ್ಟ್ ನ ಆ ಮೆಷಿನ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಹಾಕಿದ್ರೆ, I had seen myself a pilot machine. ಅದ್ರೊಳಗಡೆ ಹಾಕಿದ್ರೆ ಇಟ್ ವುಡ್ ಡೈಜೆಸ್ಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಗಿವ್ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ ಫ್ಯೂಯಲ್, ಆಯಿಲ್, ಚಾರ್ಕೋಲ್ ಆಸ್ ವೆಲ್ ಆಸ್ ಗ್ಯಾಸ್ ವಿಚ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಫ್ಯೂಯಲ್ ಫಾರ್ ಯೋರ್ ಡೊಮೆಸ್ಟಿಕ್ ಯೂಸೇಜ್. ಈ ತರ ಒಂದು ಮೆಷಿನ್ ನ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ರಾವ್ ಅಂತ. ಈಸ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಚೆನ್ನೈ. ಬಟ್ ಅನ್ಫಾರ್ಚುನೇಟ್ಲಿ ದಟ್ ಸ್ಟಿಲ್ ನಾಟ್ ಸೀನ್ ದ ಲೈಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಡೇ. ಐ ಡು ನಾಟ್ ನೋ ವೈ. ಆ ತರ ಮೆಷಿನ್ ಇಲ್ದೇ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಈ ತರ ಒಂದು ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಬಿಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಇಂದ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು is always a better thing to do. If you do, your children will follow. Your children do. That is the ultimate last unit of the family who can do that.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah. And even in the markets, if you really see, ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಟ್ರೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಪಾಪ. ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಎಜುಕೇಶನ್ ಇಲ್ದೇ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಬಟ್ ಇಫ್ ಯು ಟೆಲ್ ದೆಮ್ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ವೆಜಿಟಬಲ್ ವೇಸ್ಟ್ ಈ ಚೀಲದೊಳಗೆ ಹಾಕಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಆ ತರ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಒಂದು ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ನ ಅಳವಡಿಸಿ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅಫ್ಕೋರ್ಸ್. ಯು ಮಸ್ಟ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಜಾಯಿನ್ ಹ್ಯಾಂಡ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ದಿಸ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪನ್. ಮುತ್ತು ಒಬ್ರೇ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಅಥಾರಿಟೀಸ್ ಆಗ್ಲಿ ಇಬ್ರು ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆಯಾಗಿ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ಇಬ್ರು ಸೇರಿದ್ರೇನೆ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕಾಗತ್ತೆ.
With especially a country which has about 140 crore plus population.
Yes.
We need to do that. Everyone should join.
In Singapore, if you put anything on the road, they would fine you $500 immediately. ಆ ತರ ನಮ್ ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಹೇಳ್ದಂಗ್ ಕೇಳ್ತೀವಿ, ಇಲ್ಲಾಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಕೇಳಲ್ಲ. ನಮ್ ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಪಾಪ ಒಳ್ಳೆಯವರು ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ ಅದನ್ನ. ಸೊ ವಿ ಡೋಂಟ್ ಲಿಸನ್ ಟು ದಮ್. ವಿ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಡೂ ವಾಟ್ ವಿ ಫೀಲ್ ಇಸ್ ರೈಟ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ?
In fact, everyone here takes a pledge to identify if someone puts something on the street. We educate them. We need not to be really, really rude on to them. I see a lot of times when I'm going on a street, car in that window open ಮಾಡಿ ಕೆಳಗೆ ಹಾಕ್ತಾರೆ. I feel so bad about it, and I go and tell them, madam, you can always keep it in the door.
Exactly.
So there is a provision given for you to keep the waste and get back home, put it in dustbin. I mean, educated are doing this. So I think somewhere all of us should get down to that and, educate people. Maybe now serious rough people may not take it. If you smile and say it, I've seen people respond really, really well when we say that with a smile and say, ma'am, we should not be doing this. I think you can put it at home. They accept it. So I think we should start doing that.
Benz ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಥವಾ BMW ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ ಮುತ್ತು, they throw the water bottle on the road, glass ಇಳಿಸ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಎಷ್ಟು ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ. That is the kind of awareness people have today, unfortunately. ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. Class of people differ, right? I mean, that kind of education is required, but self-study is something, self-discipline is what I want you all to enforce on yourselves.
I think
authority nadiyalla idu.
Correct. I think your teachers and professors can make a big difference. That's where, because that's where the big crowd comes there. That's where they educate. Probably if they have probably induction time, orientation time, maybe or notice maybe once in 6 months, once in a year, maybe 15 minutes talking about the effects of plastics and waste management, and at least basic manners. Especially this happens near the colleges, I'm not naming any, I mean, not any colleges, but particularly. ಅಲ್ಲೇ ತಿನ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಪಕ್ಕದಲ್ಲಿ ಡಸ್ಟ್ಬಿನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಕಲ್ಲ, ರೋಡ್ ಹಾಕ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಹೋಗಿರ್ತಾರೆ. Maybe if professors and teachers can touch upon this once in a while, remind them, maybe they'll follow it. I mean, maybe we should take up that responsibility and start saying it. I mean, I just thought I should say this. Couple of times I see at colleges happening.
Yes, we need to do that big time, Muthu, and especially teachers. We
Can play a major role in this.
Yes.
Helping
Definitely,
to
children will
India.
follow.
Correct,
Children
correct.
will follow. To some extent, ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ policing is required in the beginning, but once they get on to the
Absolutely.
group, I don't think anybody needs to be monitored.
Absolutely. I think if you inspire them to, make it a better place, clean place to live, if we touch upon the hygiene points and, inspire them and motivate them, and, we live up to the standards that we talk about in clean management, I mean, hygiene management and waste management, I'm sure people will take it up. Today, nobody wants to be told seriously, but if you inspire them, definitely they will follow.
ಅಲ್ಲ, ಒಂದೇ ಒಂದು ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕು ಮುತ್ತು, if you want this planet for your grandchildren and great grandchildren, they will definitely do it, because everybody is selfish in this world, right? They would want the best for their kids and ಮೊಮ್ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆ ಮರಿ ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆ ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ. Maybe that they should use it as a reason to tell them, why don't you preserve the planet for your third generation from now. ಅವಾಗ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು probably. See Kashi now, Muthu, how it was and how it is now.
Right.
Of course, there is a bit of authority which is being used there even today, but look at the difference. I mean, ಮನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಏನ್ ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೂ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು ಅಂತ our honorable Prime Minister has shown it.
Absolutely, I agree.
Yeah.
I think even parents also makes a big difference. If all that parents teach their children on, the waste management, and, I think in apartments these days started doing. I think the apartment community started doing this. Even the parents teaching the children on not to throw anything on the streets and things like that. I mean, it will make a big difference there as well.
Yeah, academicians can include this as a chapter in one of those environmental, ಒಂದು ಬುಕ್ ಇದೆಪ್ಪ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ, ಎನ್ವೈರನ್ಮೆಂಟಲ್ ಸ್ಟಡೀಸ್ ಏನೋ ಒಂದು ಬುಕ್ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ ಇಂಟ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು. ಅವಾಗ ಅಟ್ ಲೀಸ್ಟ್ ಪೀಪಲ್ ವುಡ್ ಆ ಏಜ್ ಇಂದ ದೇ ವಿಲ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಲರ್ನಿಂಗ್.
Also, I believe that if they believe, I mean, if the academicians can probably take people maybe on once in 6 months, maybe a Clean India, clean our area, if they start taking up people around the college ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು, ಅಥವಾ schools, around the schools, around the houses, around the community, if we start, maybe it will inspire people to follow and maybe pick up plastics around, something like that. That will make a big difference. A lot of awareness videos are there in YouTube.
Yeah, so this happened when our honorable Prime Minister started sweeping the street once to showcase that everybody should clean their premises, right? So what we can do, one day in a week, cleaning drive anta eno on ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಒಂದು ಮಾಡೆಲ್ ಏರಿಯಾ ತರ ರೆಡಿ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಅವ್ರವ್ರ ಪಕ್ಕದ ಏರಿಯಾನ ರೆಡಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಬಂದ್ರೆ things will take a better shape.
Right.
ಅವ್ರ ಇರೋ ಜಾಗನ ಮಾಡೆಲ್ ಏರಿಯಾ ತರ ಮಾಡೋ ತರ ಒಂದು ಅಸೈನ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆರ್ ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ನ ಅಸೈನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಬರ್ಬೇಕು, all these teachers or professors or all of them. But of course it takes a lot of effort in the beginning for them as well as for the kids.
I think even the colleges will be more happy, because if they do this, and if other colleges replicates them, probably they're able to inspire other colleges, then that will be great.
Charity begins at home, Muthu. ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಶುರು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ up the ladder you can keep addressing this in layers till the top. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಲೇಯರ್ ಆಗಿ ಮೇಲೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು. ಆ ತರ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ತರ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರು NGO like yours, you can also the difference. You empanel across the state few people who can join hands with you and do one area as a model. ಅದನ್ನ ರೆಪ್ಲಿಕೇಟ್ ಬೇಗ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಅವ್ರ ಏರಿಯಾ ತುಂಬಾ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದೆ, ವೈ ಡೋಂಟ್ ವಿ ಡೂ ಇಟ್ ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ಈ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಮಾಡೆಲ್ ಏರಿಯಾ ಅಂತ ಮಾಡಕ್ ಶುರು ಮಾಡಿ ನೀವೇನೆ. You can do a big difference to the society if you really ask me. There are so many like-minded people in every state. So since you are already into it, I think join hands with some other NGO or some other people where you can do a big difference. Like for example, if you want me to connect you to Shikshana anta one samstha ide, avaru they have more than 4,000 government schools where they keep doing lot of these projects. Our jothe kai seri across the state ಮಾಡಬಹುದು.
Correct. Agree.
So let me know if you need help in connecting you to such organizations. I'll be more than happy to do that.
Sure. Sure. Baby Kamle is asking for your email ID and number. If you, I mean, probably she can connect back with you. Maybe she's put it in the chat.
Okay, so children, you can pass on your questions to Muthu as a center point of contact. He will pass it on to me, consolidate, and then pass it on to you, please. Because in case if you send me the mail and I miss it out, I will miss answering them. That is not right, right? So you can kindly pass it on to Muthu. He would consolidate and pass it on to me. And in turn, he will pass it on to you as well.
Sure, sure. We will do that now.
Yeah.
All right. Sure. Anybody else has any questions? Anybody else has any questions?
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yes, yes.
Hello, sir. Ma'am, I have a small thing to ask. These are the waste we can actually control, right? If we want, of course. But what about radioactive waste, like those hazardous waste where like nuclear plants, nuclear medicine, and nuclear research center are doing? Even rare earth mining are also doing. How can we control that? Are anyone doing anything about it?
Yes. See, Pollution Control Board is a authority who would not issue a license to the producer unless they know the end of cycle or the process what they have been following. What they do is there are certain scrubbers, like in layman's language, I can tell you, there is something called as a scrubber where the radiations or the toxic gases, I do not know the exact process how they do, but just to give you an idea, I am telling you that gets passed on by a tube into that solution, which gets adr jote seri, it reacts and becomes alkaline. Supposing if it has any kind of a toxic substance in it, it becomes neutral after the reaction is over. So some such thing should be there for them to issue a license. So unless they know the end of cycle, they will not issue the license to such radioactive units.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Somebody has put something on chat. Okay. Great.
They would first ask you to iterate the process. ಆ ಪ್ರಾಸೆಸ್ ನೋಡಿ ಅದನ್ನ ಅಪ್ರೂವ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಆಮೇಲೆ ಲೈಸೆನ್ಸ್ ಬಿಡುಗಡೆ ಮಾಡೋದು ಅವರು.
Okay. Cool. All right. Anybody else has got any questions? All right. If anybody would like to share a few words of how the session went on, maybe Dr. Sandhya, would you like to give a quick feedback so that we can move forward?
Yeah, good evening. Good evening,
Yes.
everyone.
Right,
So it
good
was a
evening.
wonderful session. We really learned something about waste management. And it's really an interesting part to know about that edible cutlery. Probably if it could have been displayed, it would have been nice anyway. We would personally
So
visit.
Doc, Doc, I had planned to give all of you one sample each if it were to be a physical meeting. So probably after this pandemic, whenever we have a physical meeting, Shiva, we can definitely plan to do this.
Yes, ma'am. Looking forward for that. That's really a very interesting part of it. And I actually, I didn't have any idea about that edible cutlery. So it's very nice to know about it. And it was a very good session, an informative session. Thank you very much. Yes, ma'am.
Doctor, my slogan on my logo is, you can have the plate and eat it too.
Yeah. Yeah, I checked. Yeah. Very interesting part of it.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you for the session, ma'am.
Thank you.
Hi. Okay. Anybody else would like to give anything, any feedback? Okay. In fact, for me personally, I love the interaction because I learned a lot. I had a lot of queries and I got the queries resolved. Otherwise, I've been thinking about it for quite some time on, you know, how I can contribute. Of course, I did nothing, but my mom does it. Thank you for inspiring on this topic, Ms. Shaila. And I've been hearing about this cutleries and all that, you know, edible cutleries. I really wanted to check that one myself. Good, I got to know that you're doing. So probably we will connect once to see how it works, and maybe I can see if I can be of some help to take this forward. It's been really wonderful session. Thank you, Ms. Shaila.
So Muthu, just ping me on WhatsApp because I don't have your number. Ping me on WhatsApp. I will send you some bit of information on and the catalog as well.
Sure. So what I can do is I you know, consult for a few companies as an HR. So all 200, 500 employee companies. Probably I can put this in information and inspire some companies to probably work on this.
Sure. You have my number, right, Muthu?
Yeah, I will take it. No issues at all.
Yeah. Just send me WhatsApp. I would love to send you a few things.
Sure. Thanks a lot. Sure.
Yeah.
We'll do.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. So as a process, at the end, we will have the national anthem played. So I would request all of you to stand up while we play the national anthem. And we have today Ms. Tanisha, who's from our 6th standard, 6th grade, wants to play our you know, national anthem through maybe I would say piano. So may I request all of you to stand while she plays that for us? Okay, Akhilesh is sharing the screen. Maybe we will have a national anthem played now in a moment. Okay, Akhilesh is trying to share the screen so that we all of us can witness a good national anthem. Okay. Oh, that's a nice, cute setup. We are unable to hear Akhilesh. Akhilesh, I think you'll have to unmute. We are unable to hear anything, Akhilesh. Akhilesh, we are unable to hear anything. Akhilesh, I think you'll have to unmute yourself, Akhilesh. One moment. There's always a technical glitch that we will have. Yeah, we are able to hear something now. Yes.
I am Pariksha from Sagar. Today I am going to play national anthem. Jai Hind.
That was wonderful. Thank you, Tanisha.
Thank you,
for-
everyone. See you sometime. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you, Tanisha. If any of you want to connect with us, probably you can connect with us on, you can reach out, connect with us on Facebook, or you can also reach out to us in the mail IDs that is normally shared with you folks. And if you want, you can connect us with Sandhya, or you can reach out to Parthos, Mr. Satish, Shiv Prasad, Akhilesh, any one of us, and we will be able to add you to the group. All right. Thank you very much for having participating here for quite some time now, and wish you all the very best. And I wish all of us will start focusing on waste management a little more and make India a better place to live. Thank you. Thank you, folks. Have a great day.